What is up, everybody? Ninja Nick here with Tactical Gaming, bringing you something that is extremely laughable, and that would be the 28th Amendment, the amendment that will abolish the Second Amendment and require every state in the United States to get rid of guns and or create more red flag laws and all this other kind of stuff. Now, this is going to be a Coleon Noir video because he does like to give out a lot of the facts and everything else, and I love how he ends out his videos every time. Now, it is laughable because first and foremost, if no one knows this, the first 10 amendments of our Bill of Rights cannot cannot be rewritten, abolished, or messed with in any way, shape, or form. Now, can new amendments be added to kind of alter certain kind of things? Yes and no. Now, the fact that someone named Gavin Newsom, who lives in one of the most gun control states and cities other than Chicago, which are also rampant of crime, full of crime, which once again, what does creating a law going to do when criminals don't follow laws or rules? They're criminals for a reason, right? But no, Democrats, they don't care. I mean, shoot, look at all these DAs who don't even bother to throw people in prison because it goes against their constitutional rights. But hey, wait, people who are killing people, murdering people, raping people, and all this other kind of stuff, they have rights. But the victims don't. Oh, wait, that's right. As soon as you become a victim, like a legitimate victim, your voice isn't heard. Let's get into this.
There's a historic announcement that was just made.
Historic announcement, my ass.
In an exclusive interview
Stupid
with
announcement.
this morning, Newsom says he wants to propose a new 28th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution.
Would affect the entire country when it comes to gun control. If passed, it would restrict access to guns in all 50 states.
Every time it's the same. They tell us we can't stop these massacres.
There again. Wonder how you stop it? Hire teachers, train teachers who are willing to defend the students instead of hide. That would do it. Oh, also, why not hire a security team whose whole goal is to sit at school, wait just in case if something happens, and they can be the first response team for when it happens instead of waiting until the police show up. Because sometimes the police might be busy and or too stretched thin to respond in a quick enough pace, and or might be too far away to get there in time. Hence on why, if you actually had people who are trained and willing to defend, this wouldn't be a thing. And I say that should be in any kind of public space, whether it be at a mall, whether it be at a grocery store, or any other kind of retail or school or anything. If people knew that, oh, hey, wait, there's people who are trained, who are willing to defend the people who go here, shop here, work here, whatever, right? But that's the problem. They're more fearful of what people would do or could do instead of what people actually do, which is follow rules and laws. They don't care about the criminal. No, 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 no. They're afraid of what all the other people would do. Like, they already know criminals are criminals. You don't see them going to the criminal's home to take their guns. You don't see them going to their homes because they know where they live. And you don't see them throwing them in prison. Oh, that's right. Once again, DAs don't want to do their job. And in my opinion, if a DA is not going to actually, arrest people and put people in jail and everything else like they're supposed to, well, then they shouldn't be getting paid to do it. Because, I mean, at that point, they're just getting paid to sit on their ass.
They tell us we have to stand by and watch tragedy after tragedy unfold in our communities. They say we can't stop domestic terrorism.
So, hang on. Nashville shooting, right? Do we have the dossier from the Nashville shooter? Matter of fact, actually, they completely buried it with all the other shootings and everything else that happened. What about the other transsexual person who was actually going to target another school? Once again, buried it in the news. Come on, folks. Pay attention and wake up. If you literally live in California, you need to remove these people because they don't care about you. They don't. You're just a number to them. You legit are. To the government itself, it doesn't matter, Democrat or Republican, it's just a name. Their whole goal is to line their pockets with money and keep the American people, you and me, at each other's throats so that they can continue on with their bullshit. That's the whole goal. And until you wake up and say, I'm not a Democrat, I'm not a Republican, I'm not this, I'm not that, I'm an American citizen. And I demand that these people be held accountable. These Republicans, these Democrats, these people whose job is to protect the Bill of Rights, to protect you and me, the taxpayer, which at the same time, Boston Tea Party, taxation is theft. Come on. This is why history is so important, especially American history.
Keep in mind that every gun law this so-called 28th Amendment wants to do on the federal level, California already has. Yet California has had the most mass shootings in...
Look at this. California, 25. Texas, 12. Florida, 12. Colorado, 8. Washington, 7. Wisconsin, 5. Illinois, 5. Pennsylvania, 5. New York, 5. Maryland, 4. Ohio, 4. Virginia, 4. Michigan, 4. You don't see my state on there, do you? Want to know why? Because majority of people up here, more than probably, I would say more than 70% of the population, are armed.
the U.S. from 1982 to 2023. But Gavin Newsom is so brilliantly stupid that he wants to do on the national level what's not even working on his state level. That's like Lizzo telling me that I should eat the same way she does in order to lose weight.
Without violating the Second Amendment.
Exactly.
And the thoughts and prayers.
So let's see here. Okay, Ron DeSantis, my thoughts and prayers. Yep. Our thoughts and prayers. Texas are grieving the victims of senseless crimes. Yeah. I mean, that's typical, like, oh, hey, we feel sorry. Well, this is where I say, hey, if you're a governor or a senator of any one of these states and you're a pro 2A person, then you might want to actually start putting out laws, rules, and everything else that might want to actually make your constituents feel safer. Especially retail workers, because retail workers, with the shit that they're going through with theft and rampant craziness that's going on because people are getting desperate, you might want to actually let these people defend themselves because they can't without the fear of losing their jobs. Because if you're a retail worker, you get assaulted at work, your whole choice is run away. You cannot defend yourself. Now, the problem is, what if you can't run away? What if you're the one right there being assaulted? If you don't stop that person assaulting you, they're going to assault another person, and then another person, and then another person. So it's either you lose your job and you save your life, or you possibly die or get severely injured, and then you're also the cause of other people getting severely injured, which then you still lose your job. Because once you get severely injured, the job isn't going to wait until you get healed. And half the time, they'll just let you go and like give you money and say, hey, sorry, we can't rehire you. Goodbye. Come on, wake up, people.
The best we can do.
Correction. The only way you want to stop domestic terrorism is by violating the Second Amendment.
Booyah.
There's a difference. Nice try, though.
I'm here to say that's a lie. And this
What's funny is there's a video of him and a news reporter walking in California with armed security. Okay? There's security wearing bulletproof suits, which are a thing. There's security who have guns, automatic guns. The ones that, you and I can't buy unless we have a specific license to actually buy it. He's protected by people with guns. If he wants to get away with guns, all guns gone, bye-bye, then he better start walking around without people who have guns. See what I mean? Or is that just hypocritical?
country, we do have the power to change things.
And I am going to go a little conspiracy theorist here because, hey, that's what it's going to sound like. But why do you think they want to get rid of guns in all 50 states? I mean, look what China is doing right now, right? In Cuba, in our current country right now, the fact that, they're teaming up with Russia to create their own money and do all this other kind of stuff. They bought up farmland in the Midwest. A lot of it. They bought land up near Michigan. What do you think they're doing? They're allowing their people to go from China to South America up to here to migrate. China is one of the most controlled countries when it comes to their population. They want to know what they're doing, where they're going. And if you leave to go to America for whether it's a work visa, school visa, or anything else, you have to sign a contract with them. But yet they're letting certain citizens fly to a country without having a passport or any other kind of reasoning other than, oh, hey, I want to go and visit. When they know, because it's all over the news and they can't say they don't know. China has their noses in fucking everything. They know. Because they're sending able bodied young men and women to come over here and be spies. That's why they have land in the Midwest. Because, I mean, they're coming across our southern border in droves. Come on, guys.
Reclaim our freedom from fear.
Yeah, reclaim our freedom from fear.
To reclaim our freedom from fear is to take away our freedoms.
Yep.
That is banning the most popular rifle bought and used for self-defense and used in less than 1% of gun deaths is a way to reclaim our freedom from fear. Sounds like to me you're projecting your fear of armed citizens who can't be pushed around by a heavy-handed government.
Her ability to make a more
Yeah. Why is it our government is afraid of the law-abiding citizen but not the criminal? Could it be because there's more law-abiding citizens than criminals? Could that be it? I think so.
perfect union is literally written into the Constitution.
You don't form a more perfect union by taking away people's fundamental rights. I can't think of anything more divisive than a rich political elitist who is surrounded by armed security 24/7 telling a single-parent mother living in the south side of Chicago that she can't own an AR-15 to protect her home, or someone who is disabled and living alone that they can't own a pistol-caliber carbine for self-defense.
Yep.
Sounds more like a more perfect division of elitism to me, but what do I know? I'm just a silly little civilian to you.
So today,
Right?
proposing the 28th Amendment to the United States Constitution to do just
Fuck off.
The 28th Amendment permanently enshrines four.
Pay attention to this, guys. If you have a senator or a governor who actually votes on this,
Purchase a firearm from 18 to
it's going to happen to the point to where it's going to be Revolution 2.0. They want this to happen.
The fact that he's equating the ability to buy alcohol to a constitutional right is wild and ironic, considering the only amendment ever to be repealed was the 18th Amendment. You know, the one that tried to ban alcohol in the United States. Keep in mind, an 18-year-old has to pay taxes, can vote, join the military, make contracts in their own name, and are completely independent. So what Gavin Newsom is saying is that an 18-year-old living on their own doesn't deserve the right to have a gun for protection.
Right? But yet they can sign away their life and all this other kind of stuff, put themselves in debt.
From purchasing a gun that can be used in a crime.
Oh, really? Because California has the most mass shootings in the country. California has universal background checks. And not to mention, from 1966 to 2019, 77% of mass shooters obtained their weapons they used in the crime legally, i.e., they had a background check. I've exposed the con that is universal background checks before. It's merely a backdoor way.
Now, see, what leads to people to do crime? Could it be, the way the economy is? Could it be the fact that, jobs are being, destroyed because, oh, hey, we have a lot of illegals coming in, or a lot of jobs are going overseas to other countries? The economy is the leading cause to why criminality gets so big. And it gets so boldened when law enforcement isn't allowed to arrest people. Because law enforcement knows as soon as they arrest him, they're going to be forced to let them go because DAs are going to demand it.
Of establishing a national gun registration, which history has proven over and over again is always subsequently used to confiscate guns from the people.
It institutes reasonable waiting periods.
Reasonable waiting periods.
Reasonable to who? Sure.
See, back in the day, you used to go into a general store, okay, and buy a gun and leave with it that very day. There was no background checks. There was no nothing. It was someone can buy a gun. And it should go back to those days. And no, you shouldn't hold no one responsible other than the person who does the crime. The person who does the crime is the one who's responsible. Not the grocery store, not the store that sold the gun, not the whatever. The person needs to be held accountable. Period. Because someone who goes from being a good person could go to a bad person. All due to circumstance that's created by the government.
Carol Bowen didn't think her waiting period was reasonable.
Had a restraining order and security cameras.
Oh yeah,
Nothing
lady lost her life.
Saved Carol Brown's life from a bitter ex-boyfriend who came to her house and stabbed her multiple times until she died.
stabbed her multiple times. He didn't even use a gun. So are they gonna start outlawing knives? What about cars? What about that dude who like literally ran over a whole bunch of people during that friggin' parade? Huh? What about that? They get outlaw cars? Because as I recall, the punishment for someone doing vehicular manslaughter is they lose their license, right?
Carolyn knew the only way truly to protect herself was with a gun, but she was still waiting for her permit to be approved long after New Jersey's 30-day waiting period had passed. Did that state's
I hope that family
play a
sues New
role
Jersey.
in her death?
She died in a brutal stabbing by
Stabbing.
this fellow Itel, waiting for the state of New Jersey and their local police to approve an application to purchase a handgun.
And it bans civilians from buying assault rifles. Those weapons of war our founding fathers never foresaw.
So let me get this straight. Our founding fathers had the
Just wait.
foresight
This could be good.
to write our Constitution.
And no, I have not watched this video. I just know the Constitution and I understand the Second Amendment because I'm 100% a 2A supporter. I think everyone in this country has the right to bear arms and defend themselves from people who are trying to kill them. And I do mean illegally, such as, oh, hey, you're being robbed. Someone's trying to break into your house. You're being assaulted. You're a good, tax-paying citizen who's just going about your day. You should be able to defend yourself.
Standing codified national constitution in force in the world today, but couldn't foresee that their personal rifles that they used to fight for this country's independence wouldn't become more advanced after 200 years? Never trust a politician who calls you a civilian instead of a citizen.
Yep.
It's dismissive and a huge indicator that he doesn't see you as an equal and
Nope.
believes that instead of working for you, he rules over you.
Guarantee states as well.
Which is a big change because the thing is, they're public servants. Public servants, meaning they serve us in our whims, meaning we vote on what we want. Not what they want, because he lives in a nice cushion area. He gets to have all these tax breaks and all this other kind of bullshit. Do you? No. Do you have private security that follows you around that has literal no recourse if they defend him? So like if someone goes up in a threatening manner, right, and that person gets killed, do you think his security is gonna get in trouble? No.
Ability to enact
Wake up.
common sense gun safety laws while leaving the state
Common sense gun safety law is
and respecting
let people buy guns.
owning
Let
tradition.
people own guns.
28 locks in the common sense constitutional protections.
Common
Democrats,
sense.
Republicans, independents, and gun owners overwhelmingly support.
No, they don't.
The Second Amendment is not a tradition, it's a right. For the fact that you call it a tradition is the very reason our founding fathers wrote the Second Amendment in the first place.
Yep.
They knew actors of the government, such as yourself, would try to restrict the people's ability to own arms.
Corruption.
So they codified that right in the Bill of Rights by telling you, the government, that our right to keep and bear arms
Shall not be infringed.
That's why you have to come up with this goofy 28th Amendment as a sophomore way to get around the Second Amendment. Because the Second Amendment is part of the Bill of Rights.
Yep.
Which guarantees civil rights and liberties to the individual, like the right to keep and bear arms. The Founding Fathers wrote the Bill of Rights to tell you, the government, what it can't do.
Exactly.
This stupid 28th Amendment literally does the opposite. Second, so many people agree with these laws at the percentages he showed. All of these laws would be law already. 87% of background checks, 81% for raising minimum age, 77% for waiting periods, and 61% for banning so-called assault weapons? Why the hell would you need to pass a whole new amendment?
All lies. All those numbers are lies. Because you can guarantee their polls were done in a liberal sense, meaning they probably asked 100 people who are all liberals a question of, how do you feel about this? How should we go about this? They didn't ask a whole country or a whole group, everybody. No, they asked one group.
Instead of just getting a federal law passed. Further, if you had this much support for these laws, why are the comments in the comment section turned off in this video? I'll tell you why. Because these numbers are
Bullshit.
how the actual country feels.
Because he has to block his shit. I don't. I don't get paid for this. This is why I like doing YouTube. I do YouTube and Rumble. I don't get paid for this, which is where I don't care about ad revenue or anything of their fucking crap. I just put fucking videos out there because I am tired. Like, I love these YouTubers who do it, all the 2A guys, but the thing is, they're caring too much about their pocketbook when in all actuality, they can just get a normal job. Like me, I have a normal job. I work in retail, okay? So the thing is, I get why they do it, and I understand they're protecting their pocketbook. I get it. Right now, it's expensive to live just in the country. But the thing is, that's why I do what I do, and I don't care if I get paid by Rumble or YouTube. Because I just want the information to get out there.
Approximately 900 people by way of a process called random digit dialing. Last I checked, 900 people out of a country of over 300 million is hardly an indication of what the country thinks. Just saying. Lastly, guns are common sense.
Yep.
The Second Amendment is common sense.
Yep.
If you live in a world where bad people do bad things to good people having an effective means to protect themselves is common sense. There's nothing common.
Okay, his 2A thing, right? It goes from right here. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. A well-regulated militia, meaning we have the same arms as the military, same training as the military, same gear as the military. Not, oh, you can't have this bullshit, okay? Being necessary to the security of a free state, okay? Come on now. The security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms, a well-regulated militia being necessary. Huh.
Sense about a law that makes it harder for people to protect themselves. So, a couple of days ago, I gave away these 3 Surefire lights to 3
Stupidly expensive, by the way. But I mean, hey, they have to be really good. But that's awesome that he's doing that. Check his shit out. If you're 2A, check out Colonial War. He's really good.
Each group comes with their own benefits and perks. And as I said in the previous video,
I don't do any of this shit. I just
be doing unofficial giveaways
do videos.
to my members in these groups. If you want to learn how to join, click the join button that is next to the subscribe button. But if you don't see that button, I also put a link in the description section of this video. Guns aren't political. That's why I need your help.
They're trying to make it political, though.
On YouTube by clicking the thumbs up button, leaving a comment to let me know what you think of the video, then subscribing to the.
But yeah, subscribe to him. He does great content. He tells the truth. Just wake up, America. Wake up, people. Stop listening to these stupid bureaucrats who literally are protected by people with guns and armor. They want to outlaw body armor. They want to outlaw guns. All because they want their communist dictatorship friends to come over here and take over this country. We kicked ass in several world wars. We're the youngest country, and yet we were the strongest and still are. Because we have people who are willing to fight for it. So, like, share, subscribe. Go check him out. I hope this was helpful. Not a bit surprised considering the fact that, the government is corrupt and they don't give a shit about you, I, or anybody other than themselves and their pocketbook. And I do mean everyone in government. Doesn't matter their title. Democrat, Republican, does not matter. Eventually, every single one of them becomes corrupt. Not to mention, you have to have money. Money to become a politician. You can't just be an average Joe coming off the streets and become a politician. Can't do it. You slowly make your way up, and you make backward-ass deals and all this other kind of stuff to make money to do it. Don't care about who the politician is or anything else like that. Because if these politicians really cared about this country, they'd be fighting like hell to make sure that we keep our rights. But if they're not going to do it, the American people will have to. Come on now. So, like, share, subscribe, like I said. Hopefully y'all have a great day, great night, great evening. Stay free, America. Love you guys.